Hello everybody, I'm getting started with my morning process as I always do. You see the Jupiter spot missing because I'll be filling that in with the work I did over the weekend, but I wanted to share with you my morning process, my thought process as I always do it. And I just jump into a terminal, I hit A to bring up my journals, I hit &J to start a new journal entry, and in this case I've been doing my thought work over in Simple Note, on my phone really, in other places, other times, and it's just time to copy paste it over. So I go into Simple Note. This top one is my next video, and I might even read out some of this to you because it's my planning my next step video wise. It's a entry named next video, so I paste it in, Shift V, up arrow, GQ, and it formats it GG to jump back to the top. And got a few spelling mistakes I can already see. No big deal, I don't have to do everything, but I go past the spelling mistakes and &S to go back to it because, you know, you see you made your spelling mistake after you passed it normally. And so my keyboard shortcut for doing that is to go backwards. Sometimes I ZG it to put it in the dictionary. Sometimes it's because of this smart quote stuff. I don't have a great solution yet, but I'll be fixing that. I don't like the smart quotes from Simple Note. I might just turn off their use over there. And so I feel like I did a great job in the car yesterday with a video about my theme here on YouTube, the niche that's developing as the gradual internalization of the tools of our age, the way our ancestors internalized mitochondria and calcium. Today, we're internalizing the tools of tech. You can either be an active participant in this process or a low-impact bystander, which there's nothing wrong with, but for the spiritual money I spent for my seat here in the game I'm going to play. Mine is not the story of playing a strong hand from the start, or even compensating for disadvantages young. No, mine is the story of the slow start, the false starts, more false starts than realizing late in life is what a good, realizing what a good starting point late in life can be, right? It's easy to stall out, and there are unlimited excuses to stay stalled out. Nobody's coming but you to get you kickstarted again. So it's critical to internalize your own effective starters, and I'm going to share with you mine, right? Complexity of the kickstart process of is your enemy, right? Complexity of getting started with something new. When you sit down or stand up or enter the game, and the process of doing it is hard, right? Turning the ignition on the vehicle, if it doesn't start or there's some complex chain of dependencies to just do that, demoralization kicks in because it's a non-starter by definition, right? Of all the things done to you, this is one of the easiest to do something about. Start crushing those variables that change the kickstart process for you. Develop habits that are both timeless and priceless, right? I propose to show you how to be comfortable in a meaning, long-term muscle memory way on any hardware that provides virtual desktops and a full screen mode. This is your vehicle, and I will show you the ignition. Have a full screen text editor in command line interface mode on virtual screen 1. See, virtual screen 1. I've got others. Simple Note is on 2. I probably used the keyboard transition, which my screen capture doesn't capture, but if I do the 4-finger swoosh, it captures it. In this window, have a single text file that you keep for life. Not hard to do these days. Just make one Git repo and put a journal in it. Update it frequently, back it up well, and organize it to help. And practice achieving flow state and enter into the zone. Write and write some more, and write for hours. You will not believe what you think and know and how you need and know you blah, 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 blah. And know what you need. You'll be amazed at how you know what what you need if only you let yourself process the thoughts, right? As you settle in, know that while this feels like home, it's a home on wheels. You can carry it to Mac, Windows, GNOME, KDE, or any other desktop computing environment in the future. View the desktop environment of your OS as an empty shim with nothing but a net connection, virtual screens for full screen apps, and a taskbar for switching between them, right? So I could switch this way. It's probably going to look like just a pop in the video, but you know, what I'm seeing is this. That's all an OS should really provide, you know, a place for you to plug your full screen apps, a bunch of virtual desktops, net connection, and you'll be able to switch between OSs very, very smoothly, and your muscle memory will carry over. And that's the priceless, and that's the timeless, and that's my thoughts for this morning. And I hit ampersand H to give it a headline. And let's see, priceless and timeless tech habits. And I guess that's developing priceless and timeless tech habits, ampersand P. And that will start pushing it out to my public blog site. It won't be there right away because it's the GitHub IO, GitHub Pages publishing system, but you go into a browser. My name is my website, mikelev.in. The blog is just, you know, the blog, and in a moment or so you'll see that entry come up here. Maybe that'll be my ending point for this video, right? And then once I have an entry like that done, I'm trying to get into the new habit of just outright deleting everything in Simple Note after I use it, so it doesn't clutter things up, and then I just know what to focus on as my coming videos in the future. Simple Note is for videos now. I made that decision. Apple Notes is for my personal life. Simple Notes for videos. Is it published? Not yet. But you saw me put it in here, so I'll give it a moment and we'll see it get published. There's tricks to see it get published. I have some new icons floating around for that. So in a browser, I guess Control-Shift-B, I'll bring that up. I have a GitHub link here that shows me my repos. It shows me that this is deployed 29 minutes ago, and so long as that shows 29 minutes, it's not really updated. I can do a refresh, and as soon as that goes to 1 minute ago, I know it's really been published. Another thing I can do is go into the repo itself and look for a red X. If there's a red X on the last deployment, and it would be near this, the hash symbol for the git commit, I know I will have known that there was some error in my markdown or Jekyll files or whatever, and it didn't work. But not seeing that red X there, I know it's just going through that process of what else to say to buy time while this is going on. I should probably wrap up the video there because you folks are probably losing interest, but I can say something maybe about Simple Note, the upcoming topics, right? Now it's super safe for me to go into Simple Note because there's nothing there except for what I want to publish. So it takes the place of Apple Notes again. Biggest lessons in life, the systems you've got. Use the systems you've got. Use the hand you're dealt. Capture ideas as they occur to you any way possible. The 80-20 rule, there's always time for perfection later, and multiple passes of the 80-20 rule zeroes in on perfection with a certain calculus. And there's always a 50-50 vibrating edge in things. That's why we're alive. Things are in orbit because of, vibrating edge balance. And beware those who are sheltered from that fact, because they see their side of the vibrating edge as all that is, when the other side is, the other 50%. That's always the case. And, beware that static state. Don't let yourself fall into that. Don't let yourself become part of the 50% that thinks they're the 100%. Observe. So I gave you a little look ahead there. different topics I'll cover, lessons from the Amiga, and try a refresh. And there it is. What I just wrote this morning, what you saw me write, has now been pushed out as published web content with a nice search optimized URL, and same thing in the title tag of the page. And that's my CMS system. This and more I'll teach you how to do in all my upcoming videos, because I have basically finished the tooling stuff. Only NBDev remains. And then we get on to things like these wonderful CMS systems and creating Linux daemons, scheduled services. So you can move stuff from Jupyter over to Linux services. And I guess I'll fill in the Jupyter thing here, making sure everyone gets the point from my previous work that all it takes is jumping into a terminal, touching your container. I might even do this. There's other ways to do it with like a Linux service, but LXC ls, that lists my Linux things. The Jupyter machine is there. It's stopped. All I have to do is have listed it, and on my next run, it's going to be running. There it is running. And so that means for you folks who are always running Jupyter and, you know, say off the desktop or from the Anaconda install, and you know how long it takes to run, right? So now I have Jupyter. Do I still have it on my... I might have to go in through, let's go in through a browser, right? I have my browser window open. It's hosted on localhost :8888. Watch how fast. Oh, that was not fun. Localhost 8888. It really is started though, isn't it? Yeah, it is started. It's running there. Maybe it's fully qualified. LXC, EXEC, Jupyter. Switch user, login, Ubuntu. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, I just have a mistake in my script file that starts it up. You know what? I'll fix that later. That's why it's blank here. I haven't finished all the steps to make it run as a container on my main daily work machine. You've been seeing me do it on one of them other machines, which, as you can read from my blog, I've been recovering old laptops for video production purposes. Later, Gators.